Tonight, Israel is moving to expand its control over Gaza.
Israel is accused of waging a new kind of war in Gaza City, a campaign of psychological warfare designed to terrify residents into fleeing south. Since launching its offensive on August 11, the Israeli army has bombarded high-rise buildings, homes and shelters, while spreading messages that food, medical care and tents await families in the south. But despite the pressure, most of Gaza City's 1 million residents remain. Israeli media estimates that only 350,000 have fled so far. On Tuesday, the newspaper Marif reported that army's use of illumination flares was aimed at sowing panic and confusing Hamas fighters. Security officials told Channel 12 that they believe enough people have now left to begin a ground offensive. Through Walla, news noted that the army's disappointment that far fewer civilians have fled than expected. The reports came after one of the deadliest nights in Gaza City when 35 Palestinians were killed under heavy fire. Witnesses said Israeli forces even deployed explosive-laden robots to demolish homes. According to Walla, some 20,000 residents left on foot in a single night, but about 650,000 still remain. These psychological operations are part of a broader plan approved by Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's government on August 8 to gradually reoccupy the Gaza Strip, starting with Gaza City. Entire neighborhoods, including Zaytun, have already been leveled. Gaza's government media office reports more than 3,600 buildings destroyed or severely damaged, along with 13,000 tents, one used by displaced families. Since October 2023, the Israeli assault has killed nearly 65,000 Palestinians, most of them women and children. The relentless bombardment has left Gaza uninhabitable, with starvation and diseases spreading rapidly. This is not just a war on ground, but a battle for the minds of Gaza's people. UN General Secretary also opposed the claims made by US and Israeli officials suggesting that recognition of a Palestinian state would benefit Hamas. He said, "I think that Israel must understand that the one-state solution with the subjugation of the Palestinian people without rights is absolutely intolerable, and so that two-state solution remains the only viable alternative to preserve peace. Without a two-state solution, there will be no peace in the Middle East, and extremism will expand everywhere in the world, with consequences that I consider extremely negative." Meanwhile, the US president once again warned Hamas that if he uses prisoners as human shields in Gaza, it will face serious consequences. Donald Trump said, "Well, we are going to see what happens, because I hear Hamas is trying to use the old human shield deal, and if they do that, they are going to be in big trouble." They put it out 2 days ago that they are going to use the hostages as human shields. That's something that hasn't been done for a long time. Let me tell you, if they do that, they are in big trouble. In response, Hamas called Israel accusation that it used residential areas as human shields a blatant lie, and said it is an attempt to justify and cover up the extensive destruction of Gaza by Israel. Meanwhile, a UN commission on Tuesday released a report accusing Israel of committing genocide against Palestinians in Gaza and called for an immediate halt to military operations. Abu Muhammad, a displaced Palestinian, said, "We are oppressed people living under injustice. Even our children are trapped in these conditions. We have been displaced from our land and our homes. We weep blood over our homes and our children. My father and my children were murdered. I left them there and fled." The Israeli army announced yesterday that it has launched the main phase of its ground operation in Gaza and plans to increase its forces in coming months. The army spokespersons also said Israeli forces have been take control of large part of Gaza.